Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pocket Captains Plays Pixel Starships. Well, it's been a little bit since we've tuned into our good easy hit. He's had some hits, he's taken some hits, he's gone to battle. In fact, let's take a look at what he's been up to. A little bit of success, a little bit of failure. First of all, let's take a little peek at what's been working. Now this is a higher level ship. My boarders are going on board. They're taking out the reactors. That's good. Meanwhile, back over here, my shields are still up. I'm holding on to my own. I'm doing well. Actually, doing very well. That block has really taken the pounding for me over there. I just think those blocks you put in, they really are worth their weight in gold. They're hitting it hard. My shrubbery actually took a lot of the damage. Look at how much that room is taking. It's still up. That's remarkable. Actually, I had no idea. Until this very minute, I sat here watching it. I mean, what are they hitting it with? Over here, his reactors are gone. My border droids are doing their jobs. So that's what victory looks like. Now I'm going to show you the battle that caused this. Again, it's a level 9 ship, so it wasn't like it was unmatched or I was overmatched. It was just a better ship. Looking at the design, he's got some nice stuff, like the extra rooms. He's maxed up the beds, that's nice. So his crew is a lot higher than mine. And my boarders right now are not doing badly. They're just basically cleaning up the other crew. But he's doing a much better job. Now, if I remember correctly, he's just pounding my shield room. My defense did not hold up very well there. My crews are rushing in, trying to do their best to hold it together. Now you can see some of them are hanging on the med room. I have been working on the medical room, trying to get some more value for it. My ship's coming down very quickly. And we're both targeting the same room. You notice that I'm also targeting the shield room. Yet his is doing very much better. But look at his characters. The people he has doing the defending are a much better classic character, and it really does come down to not so much the ships, but who's defending the ships, who's working them. And there goes Darth Kidius. And she just stands there and admires the view. So I retreated just in the nick of time. That did not go well. So for me, the theme lately has been, what kind of a crew do you have? What kind of quality do you have on your ship? Now, for me, the biggest hurtful problem was, and I think up here still, I have some blues. I still have some blues, and I noticed that. And I was doing an episode on the OP Black MacBeth. And one of the first things I'm dealing with is, what can you do at level 3 even to make your ship overpowered? Because you have no AI. It doesn't look like your ship can do all that much. You still have to, target things by hand, which, of course, it's always an unfair advantage. The other guy probably has no AI, and you're moving the reticule around to suit you. But what you can do is crew. You can crew up at level 3. And I've been running some crew experiments, and I'll get back to that later. But what it made me realize is I was getting this amazing OP crew for Black MacBeth. What have I done for easy hit, really? I mean, I had a lot of Starbucks. I was saving them up. I was spending on various things, but have I done everything for my crew that I could? Well, I had that blue up here, and I also had other blues up here. Where are they hiding? I had blues. I had this guy here. He was up there for a while. And male nurse I had on board for various reasons. They're blues. And when it comes to the ship taking the hits and being able to stand in the room and repair it, well, there's only hit points to go around when you're a blue character. And I wanted to do better, so I started playing around getting upgraded crew like I was learning to do with Black MacBeth. And I got this fine fella. That's not what I want. That's his training. I don't want to see his training. I want to see his profile. He's purple. And he's got the rush command. And that is one of the things I want to switch to. Because right now all my crews are set for combat, hand-to-hand combat. A little bit biased toward that because I was always getting boarded and I guess I went a little overboard. This is the rush command I'm looking for. And I replaced one of the blue characters with that. Although I kind of would like to replace this guy with Viziri Captain. He's been with me for a while. And he's been a staple of my ship, but maybe his time has come. The other person I got was, oh, not again with the training, is I've got another Zin. Also at the Rush Command. So actually, and I got him on the store when he went by. It cost me some $1,200. The store option isn't here yet, but I'm not unhappy with that choice. I debated whether or not to spend that many Starbucks on it, but I went ahead and did it anyway, and I'm not unhappy. Training them up is painful. Even my blue characters, when they were at level 30, were something to be reckoned with. The ship was actually doing very well when I was doing combat. But now with these two guys, I put them in here and I put an armor plate there so they won't leave the room and try to help. Because if I ever win a battle, they're going to get the experience points, and I want them to have the experience points. So I don't want them rushing in. But my current strategy is every time they get to a happy state again, which they're getting to, I'm pouring on the coals. Now, there was one other viewer who said, why would you put, I was putting points pretty equally and everything. He said, no, maximize their ability. Oh, hello, Starbuck. So that's what I'm doing whenever I choose to. I go down here. I grab this one, which is 11% in ability, and I'm throwing that on. Trying to beef up their ability so when they go over level 10, they are really good at rushing. It was suggested for my other Zin character, who is sitting, I think that's him there. Yep, there's Zin. He actually went so far as to say you should reset them and do it again and get his abilities maxed up. I'm considering that. I consider everything you guys are telling me mostly. So here's some of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that I've noticed lately that makes the game a little more interesting. One, this is a big one. Has anybody noticed the landmines are working again? You'll see I put them back on my ship. My borders are getting blown up, and I notice they're getting blown up real good. It isn't enough to be in the room with them or standing next to them. Like, if she's standing there and is attacking my ship, that ain't going to do it. She's got to walk over it. She has to walk over it, and you know what? It's been extremely effective. I don't know if they did a fix or a correction that last update, but definitely the landmines are working. I've also updated the armor in this room, by the way. It's not really appropriate to call it armor, because technically that's armor. But this extra defense, this barrier defense, because I noticed they were hitting this room kind of hard, so I've kind of beefed it up. I can't put 2 in here, but I lost the battle rather badly because of this room and realized it's an important one. Just a little footnote there. So landmines are working again. So I've got a smattering of these barriers. Plus I'm throwing some landmines around just in case somebody boards. Now, here's another subject I wanted to talk about. And it's maybe a little controversial. Captain Eric wrote an article about it. And I was meaning to try it. And lately, even though I even physically removed one of my mineral rooms, but I'm still getting really loaded up with an abundance of minerals because I have this thing on there. I wish I actually had that coal-fired reactor when it came up. I didn't have enough minerals, Starbucks to buy it. I would have dropped it on there right now for extra power, but essentially I left them on. I've got nothing else to put in that space. I mean, I could put this on, but it drains power. I would like to put something in that space, but that doesn't drain power. I can't put a gym in there because it's offset. I suppose I could take them both off and offset in the middle. But I'm getting a surplus of minerals every day. I go to 1.5, just like that. It takes no time at all. And I thought, well, since I can afford to lose them, if I screw this up, I can afford to lose it. Why don't I experiment with mineral swapping? And people have been, you know what? Everybody out there who's trading with easy hits, you've been very patient with me. Thank you for letting me try to figure out how to do this. For those of you who do not know what mineral swapping is, it works a little something like this. You go into the public section. Oh, by the way, you notice on the iPhone lately, if you try, a little slow here. If I'm here and I try to go to public, it immediately tries to drop the person or block them or something. I have to go to inbox, then go to public, and then it'll allow me to talk to them. But you'll see somebody go, hey, anybody want to trade 500,000 minerals? If you read the article, don't go higher than 500,000. It will not work. It does not go well for anybody. But 500,000 does. And you say, sure. Okay. So if you get an agreement He says post or you say post. You go into here. You grab something that's absolutely not worth 500,000, like this little mineral crate. You sell it. Go to your Starbucks and you get rid of this. And you put 500. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then what they do is they do the same thing. Then you quickly go over to the market. You find that guy who you made the deal with. You find his mineral crate or whatever he put up for 500,000. You click on it and you just bought a mineral crate, a little itty bitty one, for 500,000. On the other hand, he also bought yours for 500,000. The trading house takes a cut. What you end up with is an inbox with 400,000 minerals. There's one. There's one. And there's one. And I've been experimenting with that. And it has been kind of hit and miss. For example, tonight I tried to trade with that last gentleman and I thought I was trading 2. And I know I pressed for sale. I pressed go. And yet I didn't see, I even said to him, did you buy 2? Did you put 2 up? I'm sure I sold 2, but it turns out I didn't sell 2. So I'm trying to figure out why it is that it looked like I did, but I didn't. And it didn't work. The other thing that was driving me crazy is about 2 days ago, it said, your crate sold. And when I went to the inbox, my minerals weren't there. And I turned it off, turned it back on. My minerals still weren't there. Yet there was a record that it was a sale for that period. So it's a little bit hit and miss. Plus you have to deal with, now I've not had a problem. I'm not even blinking over this one. You have to trust the other person if they're going to buy as you're buying. Otherwise you're out like a lot of minerals selling off you're buying their crate for a lot of minerals and it's not actually worth that much. But on the other hand, at this late stage of the game, I can afford to lose the minerals if I do screw it up. And I think I'm kind of screwing up too in my transactions. I'm trying to keep it clean and try to keeping it efficient, but it takes a little bit of practice. But at this stage of the game, I'm generating mondo surplus minerals and I'm quite happy putting them forward. The reason why it's kind of controversial is it's a bit of an exploit of the game mechanic. I mean, what you're basically doing is it's like going around in real life going, hey, does anybody want to buy this used battery for, $100,000? And they say, sure, if you'll buy my used battery for $100,000, kind of like avoiding the tax system or something. So if you're playing clean, which I have been up until this time, you can't, it's a bit of a bummer waiting for those minerals to get accumulated. Is this playing clean or is this cheating? I would really like to know your opinion out there. If I do mineral swapping, and I've been doing it to learn, but if the consensus is that's cheating, that's a unintended exploit, you very, very naughty, easy hit, you shouldn't be doing that, I should maybe consider stopping. If everybody's out there going, no, that's actually part of the game. It's part of the game mechanic. Everybody's doing it. You idiot, what's been taking you so long? So where does everybody fall on this question? I would really like to know. Is mineral swapping ethical? Is it reasonable? Is it cheating? Or, if you never heard of it before, maybe you've never even tried it. I would like to know. So here's the next thing I want to tell you guys. I don't know if I've told you in the last story. I was definitely experimenting with it. Teleporter droids. Yep, they work. But they can be very effective against some crews, especially at lower levels. You'll notice that I've crossed the Rubicon, and I'm now where is it? That's not it. That's my fleet. You silly man. You silly, silly man. Where is it? What am I looking for? No, don't hit that. I hate when I hit that. Does everybody else hate when they hit that? I know I do. I'm in the wrong place completely. That's not what I wanted to hit. No, get out of there. Well, anyway, there we are. I'm in Diamond. I made it to the Diamond area. Wow. I actually hit Diamond once before briefly, but Platinum Plus was always my level, and I've gone into the Diamond realms, and it seems to be where I've plateaued. I'm not pushing forward as much. I'm in at 2794, and I'm well into the Diamond. I'm not winning as many battles now. I mean, when I was in the Platinum, I was defending. But now, when I look at my record, okay, these were 2 hand guided attacks, but a lot of my stuff, if you could see it, has been suffer defeat, suffer defeat, suffer defeat, suffer defeat. I'm starting to lose. So I've achieved what I call reached my level of incompetence. This is my level of incompetence. At Diamond, I seem to be okay. That's my holding own spot, but I'm incompetent now. I'm no longer capable of going up. So it's definitely time for me to look at some things. This teleporter attack was a good attack. It still is. But I've had to bring back some things. I had to bring back this guy. We're going to revisit this tonight, by the way. But I had to bring back this guy, my system hack. There was a great little system hack in the store, and I'm resenting myself for not buying it. Saving the Starbucks. Ponytail Alien. He's actually not bad. As a matter of fact, I actually accidentally got another one. So I have 2 Ponytail Aliens. I don't really need to. I know there's a bio machine coming up in the next level, so I'm hanging on to that to experiment with those. I've heard higher level characters give you better results, and I've got some still fairly high level characters. Plus, I know there's a bedroom upgrade, so some of these guys may come back until I get improved crews. But he goes over, hits the teleporter room. Let's remove the bedroom for a minute. Put the AI back in, or not the bedroom, the bridge. His job is to go over, if your current hit points are less than 50, go to the medical room. We'll come back to the medical room too. Otherwise, so he'll go over, and if he's still alive in the initial attack, he'll actually beam back. The enemy teleporter is greater than 0. Target that teleporter. So he'll go over to hit the teleporter, and he'll system hack it until he's hurt, and then he'll come back to the medical room. If neither of these conditions are true, he'll go fix whatever room is damaged. But otherwise, if nobody's on fire, he'll go to the medical room until he's totally healed. So he's actually a pretty self-sufficient little guy. He hits the teleporter, bails out when he needs to. He'll fix any room in the ship otherwise. So he's a universal repair guy. And if there's nothing going on, he hits the med room and fully heals himself up. He's quite the dude, and sometimes he even manages those things. Now, next, waiting in the wings here are my other 2 boarders. They'll go over, and their job is pick a reactor room and hold it. The only time I'm a little disappointed is when they choose the same reactor room. It's kind of a waste. And they're a bit of a tank. I mean, especially this guy. He's a bit of a tank. He can take it. I think I need to upgrade his hit points rather badly. And it's something I should consider. The gym is there after all. But you know what? I definitely should upgrade his hit points. But he will take the pounding. He'll kill a couple, 3 guys before they take him down. And of course, I got this guy with the crit hits. And he's just going to target a reactor and hold it. So I don't want them bouncing back and forth. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm going to take a little... That's the target. That's the ability for the droids. Now, these guys are making their first hits because building droids to go over is slow. I could put a rusher in there, but I don't want to. There's better things to do with a rusher. I can't give them AI. Not really. The AI in this room is increased power by 1, set the cheapest item. It's always, I'm just building, not you. I'm just building the borders. The border droids, I've got them maxed up, and that's actually very effective. I've seen those things, when they've killed my initial borders, they've done a good job of pounding the enemy defenders by taking a room and holding it. Don't leave the room. Don't walk around. Don't walk into landmines. Let them come to you, and you get the first hit, and you're pretty tough anyway. But these border droids will eventually go over, and they will go room to room. They'll take out a weapon system, or they'll take out... It's random. You never know where they're going to hit. So you cannot defend as easily a random attacker. So they're going over there, and they're doing their bit. So that's actually been very effective. By the way, this brings me to a couple sideline issues. Well, let's see. Let's deal with... make a note here. The medbay. As long as I'm on the medbay. I have been trying to make this thing work, and I was actually almost on the verge of taking it out. I didn't know what to do with, the medbay. What do I do with this freaking thing? I'm not really, maybe there's better commands I should be looking at. Maybe I haven't done my homework. I've tried hitting the web to find out more about really good commands. And I'm not saying anything special here for the medbay. But I did find something. I tried putting it high, medium, low on the list of things for them to do. How about you? AI. I had to take it down from the top of the list because I ended up with a lineup in the med bay while the ship was being destroyed. And I realized At the expense of their lives, repairing the ship was more important. But once they've got the primary repair stuff dealt with, if your hit points are below 100, go to the medbay. I could probably lower that. But then they just basically walk in for just a second and run out when they're still half dead. If I go to 50%. So if I go to 100, if they've taken damage, usually that first hit was pretty substantial. They're down to like 20%. Go in, get fully healed, come back out. It seems to be overrideable though. Unlike the other commands, they usually don't override until they're finished. Like this has to be greater than 100% before he can leave. But this one is overrideable. I don't think he needs to stay in that room till he's 100% healed. If he sees one of the other rooms are being damaged, he'll leave. At the very end, if you have nothing better to do, sit in the laser room. Because I still want my maximum pew-pew. I want more people in there with weapon ability. Which is another reason why I want to go higher than blue. What is he? He's Steve. He's purple. I want people with higher than this because I can max up, get some of their attack and their weapons especially. I want higher weapon abilities. I want the pew-pew factor to be much higher. So that's the med bay. I haven't abandoned it because I actually saw a battle the other day where they were holding their own and they were hitting me, but my guys were all cycling into the med bay, taking their turn. And then they'd leave when they were at full health or unless something was really on fire. But basically, their crew was getting slaughtered, but mine was just going on and on like Energizer bunnies. And it is all about the crew. Get your crew up. Maximum crew. Speaking of which, here's a theoretical question for everybody. I took... let's get you off the ship for the moment. I haven't got any A on him yet. But I took my crit people, and I thought, theoretically, I have a fleet, and I would donate, but I haven't had any extra gas to level these guys up. I was donating these lobies, and that's not really helping them. If you're going to donate, I want to help. So I got a level 28 here. That's not bad for level. Is there some AI I can put on them that would help other people to the maximum? Theoretically, I was kicking that idea around. I had just, whatever AI happened to be on them, that's when they went out the door. But is that really being helpful? So I've been experimenting with AI commands. So I said, if your reactor is less than 50%, go there. If your laser is less than 50%, go there. So in other words, this crit person, I picked a crit because I figure if somebody boards and they have to fight, I want some real good kablamo power kill. I want them to be a kill character if they're boarded. Otherwise, I want them to be helpful. So they're going to go around fixing the reactors and the lasers. I've got 1, 2, 3 of these guys, level 28, running around fixing reactors and lasers. It's a theory, and I'm just toying with it. Has anybody else looked at this? Has anybody else got any theories about how to design the AI to be as big as benefit to your fleet and your friends to really help their ships, not knowing what their strategies are, not knowing maybe they're all about boarding and they're like, wow, if you'd put some crit on my boarders, that would have been really helpful. Why aren't you boarding the other ship? Well, I can't assume they have a teleporter. So loaning people, like extra people out, or if they're extra, like I'm not going to change the AI of my regular crew. If I need to put them over there and donate them, maybe these guys soon to get them leveled up more. But what about doing the loaners on your spare guys? Can you change the AI to make them helpful for the other ships? I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. So here's some last thoughts for the day before I end my endless ramblings of things I'm thinking about. You can tell I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of experimenting. Somebody sent us an email a little while ago saying, boy, it's a good show, but you're making a lot of mistakes. And I'm like, well, yeah, I hope so. If I didn't make any mistakes, I wouldn't need to experiment. I wouldn't need to try things out. The whole point of this is to test theories, find out I'm completely wrong, and going, thank goodness I didn't invest in that cockamamie idea. So yeah, I make a lot of mistakes. I hope I make some beautiful mistakes. I hope I'm learning from them too. But, and by the way, the feedback you guys are giving us is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. But one comment, and I'm not sure he wants his full name given out, I'm just going to say Gregory L. He pointed out that I lost the battle. He watched the battle I put on there where my guy was beaming over. It was this guy. And he died instantly because they had a crit guy in the teleporter room. How often are they still attacking the teleporter room first? I've been debating. Like, look what I've got there now. I'm going to set you in there temporarily. I got 2 rushers. Is their rush ability so great they can cancel out? So basically they've wasted a rush. Should I not have 2 rushers in here? I'm debating the experiment on this. What if there was 1 rusher and this guy who got crit was waiting in the room, but he was nearby and his job is to go to the teleporter. So he's got enough rush ability to send him over immediately. But if he can't, if they hit my room first, he crits anybody who lands in my ship instantly, giving me some time before they could do any damage because he's a defender and he can crit. Thing is, he's not set as a defender. He's set as an attacker. Would he still activate? So I want to maybe look at his AI. If he's not him. I'm going to look at his AI and say, well, I'm going to leave him in this room until it's fully powered up and he goes over to crit anybody who might come into my teleporter room. And then by the time he's done, he can wander off. He's done his job. He shows up and rushes and repowers up the room quickly for the next guy. Maybe it's this guy here. He's actually the next guy. And I put him a little further away to delay them. And I'm actually just delaying till they get there so they're not that close and they all cycle because there is a recharge time. And I go rush, gone, rush, gone, rush, gone. And then I leave this area completely unless it needs repairing and just let the robots go over. It's a theory I think I'm going to test next. What do you guys think? That crit defender in the teleporter room certainly was devastating against my guy. So I want to thank Gregory for pointing that out. I also want to, some people have been saying, do shout outs. And I'm thinking to myself, at the time, I'm usually at work when I'm reading these comments and I don't have my, I don't have my notebook with me to write down the names. I do read your stuff and they really do give me a lift. And I'm going to try. You know what? It's time I started honoring the people who call in and write in. So one of my favorite was somebody, 3 days trial, that said he didn't bother with the AI because he thought it was a little overwhelming, but he was watching some of the earlier shows where we were making suggestions and he was trying it out and it was working for him and he really liked that. That's actually why I got into this, is because I couldn't find any good AI. I looked and looked. I didn't know anything about Discord. I didn't know, I wasn't part of a guild or anything like that, a fleet. I was trying to figure it out myself, and it was actually, for me, it was a challenge because I program AI for a living. But I wanted to see if I could do this, but I still did some, just, even when you're a programmer, you share code, you copy, you figure something out and you basically just copy that code around a lot. And I was looking for some copy code of things that other people figured out and reusing it and trying it and improving it. I still do that to that. Even now, I'm still doing that. And this guy needed a start, and I needed a start. And that's why I started writing these shows and doing our blog. And he got something from that. And that was actually my original target audience. And I really got a lift to that. And it made my whole day. So I want to thank you for that. I also want to put a shout out to some other people who wrote in. It was Patrick, GB Gamer BR. And I want to make my last comment is going to be to David. Again, I'm not going to put his full name out there, but David said a little something about spanking Jesus. Like, please don't put Jesus out in the airlock. I don't think it was this. Yeah, I don't have Jesus. That's Black MacBeth. He wrote, I don't think it's right that you should be spacing Jesus. That's just wrong. You're going to have something is going to come back to get you in some way down the road. You know something, David? Rest assured, Jesus is still on that ship. Now that you made your comment, I can't bring myself to spacing him. He's on the ship. He may be there for a while. I don't know what the future of Jesus is. I liked him because he had the rush command, and that ship's big on rush. And for those of you who are following Black MacBeth, OP Captain, well, Black MacBeth is another episode coming up too soon where we're going to talk a little more about what's going on, but I don't really want to throw him in because some of the stuff I'm doing right now is a little boring, but he's about to level up, and I want to see if he leaps onto the stage onto the next level with just this amazing crew. And even though he's a newbie on level 4, is it level 4 or level 5? Level 4, I think. Even though he's a newbie, he's still overpowered. So that's kind of the goal with that ship. And I'm going to continue to learn on it, and I'm going to continue to do experiments on this one. So that's all. That was quite a bit. I actually had to make notes. I had so many things I wanted to talk about. I didn't know at first how this was going to play out, but I had so many things burning a hole in my memory that I just had to come out and share what I was learning and what I was doing. And your feedback is just absolutely fascinating to me, and I'm learning so much from you too. So maybe you guys have something you can share with me. Certainly, I had some encouragement using the teleporter droids from one person that buoyed me on, and I actually agree. I think it's a fantastic attack. So that's the whole show for today. I want to thank all of you guys for listening. If you want to see more, please go to our website, www.pocketcaptains.com, where we are going to talk about this and a little bit about other games. The season was a little overwhelming, but we are still writing. We still put some stuff out there. So tune in, and we are going to probably, we're talking it over, but we know that we've learned things since we started that blog. And it's time we went back and updated some of our earlier stuff where, you know, the game has changed, or maybe we had an idea and it turned out to not to be such a great idea. So anybody who's trying to read and refer to our older stuff, we're going to try to update some of that for you so it's a little more current. Other than that, thank you very much for listening, everybody. This has been a lot of fun for me, and I hope all of you out there are also trying to have a little bit of fun every day. Thank you very much, and good night. Get more tips at pocketcaptains.com.